I like to come to school. I like to come to school. I like to learn and play each day. I like to come to school. This is an exciting time of year for you as well as for all the little children who will be in your room this coming year. A lot of things in the world have changed, but this is a picture of me on my first day of kindergarten, and it was one of the most exciting days of my life. And I also love this picture of my grandson, KJ. His face says it all. It's joy and excitement and fear and all of the emotions all rolled into one. So I've got some things to share with you that might help you ease into the new year. So these are just little ways that you can help children know how much you care. One thing that you can do is you can make a book like the song I shared with you, I Like to Come to School. Goes to the tune of The Farm in the Dell. I like to come to school. I like to come to school. I like to learn and play each day. I like to come to school. And you could ask each child what they like best about school. They could draw a picture of it, and then you could write the words and make a class book. This is another book that I used at the beginning of the year. It's called Hello Friends. And with this book, if you bind it at the bottom, then when you sit and hold it in your lap, the pages can just fall down and it's much easier to read. Hello, Anna. And then we'd all say, hello, Anna. Hello, Will. Hello, Will. This would be a good book to send home with a different child each night so the parents can get to know the children in the classroom. You could always put this in the classroom library, and I bet it would be read by children all through the year. A variation of this book would be to Kiss Your Brain, Sierra. Or you can sing it to the tune of Goodnight Ladies. Hello, Will. Hello, Will. Hello, Will, we're glad you're in our room. What a great way to start each day by singing and saying hello to friends. And I like to take pictures of children the first day and then run off about 20 or 30 copies and use their photos for books during the whole school year. Or if you don't have the ability to do that, you can just let them draw pictures. Here is another book that involves children's pictures as well as sign language and some sounds. And so you would take a photograph of each child, and then I also made a copy of the sign language for the letter that their name starts with. And this goes to the tune of Where is Thumbkin? The children would repeat each line. S is for Simon. S is for Simon. Simon starts with S. Simon starts with S. So just a very multi-sensory book and song, and lots of things are going on here. You know how at the beginning of the school year the children are always, teacher, teacher. That's because they don't know your name. And so you can sing this song to the tune of The Wheels on the Bus to help them learn the school's name, the teacher's name, principal's name, and other helpers. The name of my school is Montclair, Montclair, Montclair. The name of my school is Montclair. That's the name of my school. The name of my teacher is Mrs. Weaver, Mrs. Weaver. The name of my principal is Mrs. Jones. I think you've got it. You could use this same idea later on in the year to introduce social studies concepts like the name of my city is Atlanta, Atlanta. The name of my state is Georgia. And then the name of my country is United States. The name of my continent is North America. The name of my planet is the Earth. This is a takeoff from the Bill Martin book, Brown Bear, What Do You See?, that I know you are all familiar with. And you would use the children's pictures again. Will, who do you see? I see Angela looking at me. Angela, who do you see? I see Roberto looking at me. Another way to include your school helpers would be to be like, Mrs. Jones, who do you see? I see Miss Clarkson looking at me. And you could have the school secretary, the custodian, the lunchroom ladies, the PE teacher, and some of your other school helpers and specialists. Posting your daily schedule is another important thing to do at the beginning of the school year. This is a little book that I took pictures of the children engaged in different things during the day that we could review each morning, and then they would know what the expectations were for the day. Put away your backpack and get ready for a great day. We start the day with morning meeting and a song. We like to do the calendar and learn together. Next, it's time for language arts. We read, write, listen, and learn. And you could go through the different activities in the day. Another variation of that would be to put photographs of the different things you do during the day on index cards. Put magnetic tape on the front as well as the back. And then each day when your schedule changes, like maybe you have PE Tuesday and maybe Thursday you have music, you could switch the things out during the day for the schedule. And as you complete the different activities, then they could flip them over. So that's just kind of a good way to help them see the sequence of the day and the things that they do. This is a song that we used to sing when I was in kindergarten, and I used it in my class. Just got an empty picture frame and put some jewels around it, and I would sing, I'm looking through my window, I'm looking through my window, I'm looking through my window, and I see my friend Erica. And then I would pass this to Erica, and she would sing, I'm looking through my window, I'm looking through my window, I'm looking through my window, and I see my friend Jason, or whatever. It's a good way to help the children learn each other's names. Now, I'm sure you all know who ate the cookie from the cookie jar. So what you can do is get a little empty box of cookies and write the children's names on cardboard cookies, and you could pull one out as you say it. In case you don't know the chant, I will say it. Who ate the cookie from the cookie jar? Derek ate the cookie from the cookie jar. Who? Me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? You can also make cookies in the shape of gingerbread boys and girls and put their face on the front. And you could put magnetic tape on the back. They could use this as a sign-in activity when they come in the classroom. You could also use these for question of the day, that you would have a question on the board. Do you have pockets? Yes, no, and they would put their little cookie. These are cookies made out of cardboard, and I have their name on one side and their photograph on the other. So what I would do is I would put these down on the floor on the table, and the children can take the spatula and they read their friends' names, and then they flip it over and they can check to see if they are reading correctly. One teacher said she actually used this as a morning routine activity. She would place these on the carpet in the middle of the circle, and one at a time a child would come up, identify a name, flip it over, and then pass the spatula to that child. So they all got a turn reading and finding each other's names. Here is a little reading activity with children's names. If you cut the left end off an envelope, then you can pull out one letter at a time. Whose name do you think this could be? Let's pull out another letter. Whose name do you think this could be? And with each letter, let them predict the friend, and then ta-da! There's their friend at the end. Now this is the same thing we coach them to do when they begin to read, is look at one letter at a time and predict what the word might be. So this is a good way to get started in that skill. One other little idea with children's names and the first letter of their name is you can make some letter necklaces with the first letter of their name, and they can wear these as you sing songs like H is for Hillary, that's good enough for me. H is for Hillary, that's good enough for me. H is for Hillary, that's good enough for me. Oh, Hillary, Hillary, Hillary starts with H. Or you can make some wrapper necklaces with bling bling, and they can wear these when you do different alphabet songs. The next few ideas are ways to help the parents get to know who you are as a real person. And this was one of the coolest things I ever saw in a school in South Carolina years ago. The teacher had laid down on the floor on butcher paper and traced around her body, cut it out, decorated it. And the good thing about making this is you can do a little body sculpt, add here, take away there. And then she had the cutout of herself on the door, and it had like Miss Feldman has, a head full of ideas, a mouth to sing you songs and tell you stories, arms for hugging, hands to help you learn new things, play shoes for having fun, pockets to hold surprises, and a heart full of love for you. If you'll go to my July 2011 website, I have a huge thing you can download called the Parent Power Pack with a monthly calendar you can send home, finger plays, nursery rhymes, a reading calendar, all sorts of ideas that will help you build that strong partnership with the families. This is another little book that helps you get to know children. This one you would send home a little form for them to fill out, and yes, the teacher would do one too, but this one says like, my name is, the child's name, and then the parents put a photograph. I am blank years old. I have blank brothers and blank sisters. My pet is A. My favorite food is. My favorite book is. My favorite color is. I am special because. So if each parent filled one of these out and sent it to school, you would have another really great book for your classroom. One thing that I loved when a teacher told me was she said instead of decorating her classroom, she would put yellow caution tape around the door and put under construction. And she had a note for the parents that said, dear parents, when you look in my room, you won't find very much this first day. That's because I'm trying to create a community of learners. I'm going to let your children help me decorate the classroom because it belongs to them. Please come back and visit us on Friday and see what we have created. And then you could do activities like this where you make a house and you just fold a sheet of paper. It would be to give each child a square. Let them decorate it with their picture. Or you could send one square home for each family to decorate. Punch holes in the corner, bind them together, and you've got a class quilt. Another idea would be to give every child a strip of paper and let them decorate it, and then as a group activity, take the strips one at a time and staple them together to make a friendship chain, and talk about what would happen if one of these strips would break. The whole chain would fall apart. And that's why in our classroom we have to be like this chain. We have to hold hands and stick together. In fact, sign language for friendship is like this. You're making a chain and sticking it together. One other little idea that I'm going to share with you today is this one where you would get a 3-ring notebook, and when the children draw you those pictures and write you those love letters, you can help them see how special they are by punching holes in them and saving them in your notebook. And you just collect these throughout the year and you will have a beautiful scrapbook. And I'm going to close with this little idea. Before school starts, you go to your principal and you tell the principal, I want you to say yes. I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to say yes. And so the principal says, okay. And then you say to the principal, I want you to give me the best and brightest children this year. And the principal will say yes. And then that first day of school, you look them in those little eyes and you say, do you know what? I asked for the best and brightest children this year, and I got you, didn't I? I still believe if you tell the children they're wonderful and amazing and incredible, they will live up to your expectations. Have a wonderful school year.